Vicky. I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about this important topic because something recently happened to somebody that I know, and it reminded me of a situation that I had a long time ago. And you can see my topic: I don't trust doctors. Okay, and this is very important, and this definitely, I pray that it helps somebody out to be on the lookout for stuff like this. Okay, so this is like a story time. Check this out. So about when I was 16 years old, I was having these really bad stomach cramps. Okay, so I thought it was just my menstrual cycle, because when I have my menstrual cycle, that time of the month, I get really bad cramps. So I thought that's all it was. But it got to a point where it was getting more intense. It was hurting so bad. So my mother took me to the emergency room. Okay, so when I went to the emergency room, I saw a random doctor. Okay, and he basically told my mother and I that I have kidney failure on both my kidneys, and he was like, oh, this is what could happen if you do not take care of it. You're going to end up on dialysis and blah, blah, blah. And my mother was like, what? And she was like, how could that be? He was like, so at the end of the day, when you trust doctors, because doctors are educated, they know what they're talking about supposedly, and you trust them, and who am I to say that's not what I have, because I'm not a doctor, my mother wasn't a doctor, so we trusted this doctor thinking that that's what it was. So he prescribed me some medications to take and to help with the pain and to help with my situation. And 2 days later, I'm still having these pains. In fact, it was more intense. It got worse. So my mother was like, let's go back to the emergency room. And what we're going to do is not mention that we saw this doctor, to see what they basically have to say. So basically getting a second opinion. It's very important to get a second opinion. And I'm going to get into that in a minute. So we go to another hospital. Didn't say anything, say I'm in pain. I'm like really in pain. I'm crying and blah, blah. The doctor, they examined me, and they was like, oh, you have a urinary tract infection. And they asked me, do you hold your urine a lot? I was like, yes. They was like, then there you have it. That's what's the cause of that. You shouldn't hold your urine. You have to drink more water. You're dehydrated as well, and blah, blah, blah. So that's when my mother was like, really? So my mother mentioned to the doctor that she took me to the doctor's last week, the week before, and was told that I had kidney failure. Both my kidneys was failing. And the doctor was like, what? And then my mother also showed them this, that they prescribed for my daughter to take. And he looked at it like, what the heck? You do not have, that's not what the problem is. I can't believe this. Why would he tell you that? Or da 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 da. So my mother was like, oh my God, went off. And you see? So he was trying to kill my daughter or something like that, and he was like, yeah, if you kept taking these pills, definitely it definitely could have took your life, because that's not what's wrong with you, and it could have been a lot worse. So it was a big situation. I know the other doctor got in trouble and blah blah blah. I'm not going to get into all of that, but the moral of this video is to let you guys know that please be careful with doctors. Not all of them. There are some really great doctors out there, but from my experience, I experienced it. I was never that way until that happened to me, that I should not trust doctors, and you should always get a second or even a third opinion when they tell you that you're diagnosed with any type of disease, any type of medical treatment, any type of medical issue, you should definitely get a second opinion. And when you get that second opinion, never let the doctor know that you spoke to another doctor. Make it seem as if it's the first time that you're seeing that doctor, because if you do mention to the doctor, they are going to say, yeah, that's what it is, because it seems like doctors, they work together, and it's all about the money, and it's about, if you have great insurance, they want to make money. It's like, it seems like people who have money always want more money and more money. They don't care about you, they don't care about your health, and this is why they make a lot of people sign consent, because they know if they misdiagnose you or they kill you, you can't sue them. Okay, of course you can't sue somebody when you're dead, but they don't want families, and they don't want nobody suing anybody. They make you sign something in case anything go wrong. Okay, oh well, you signed the consent, so you allowing me to play with your body, tell you whatever I want to tell you, make you take whatever you want, make you take all this medication that's not even for what your condition is, and kill you, and there's nothing you could do about it. So a lot of people today who are dead or who are sick today is because of a doctor's mistake, or because doctors don't care about the patient, or the doctor just wants to make money, or You know, it's just really a dangerous situation. You got to be very careful because your life is in the hands of somebody. And then what if that person doesn't like you for whatever reason? You have somebody who doesn't like you, and they're a doctor, because some doctors are not professional. They could diagnose you with anything. They could kill you, and nothing is done. So this is the reason why I'm very paranoid when it comes to doctors. I do not trust them. If I'm not in a situation where it's life and death, I do not run to the emergency room for just any little thing, because I know what I've experienced. When you experience something so, like something like that, it makes you that way. Like every time you see somebody, you say, I have trust issues. I don't trust this. I don't trust this person. I don't trust that. It's because of something that they went through to make them that way. And now I'm extra, extra cautious. You do not see me run into the emergency room, because you know, at the end of the day, all they're going to do is tell me something that's not true. Not all doctors now. I have to say, it's not all doctors that's that way. But from my experience, I don't trust none until proven differently. Okay? And I mean, I must admit, I've had some great doctors along the way. They want to make the money. They want money. You have great insurance. They will, oh my God, come on in. And there's no money in the cure. Okay? Where doctors make money is when they're diagnosing you and having you keep returning back. They need you to keep coming back to them. So they give you something to make you get worse. Not where you're going to die, but eventually you will. But you get worse and worse, and they say, okay, now try this one. So you become an experiment. You become a lab rat. Okay? And I want to tell you another thing. I made a video and I talked about, I went to get an eye checkup. And then the doctor told me that I had glaucoma and I was going to go blind. This was about 10 years ago. They said I was going to go blind because I have glaucoma. And when I moved here to Pennsylvania, I went to get a checkup about a year ago or 2 years ago, and the doctor, I did not mention that I was told that I had glaucoma. I let him check me out, the doctor, and he said, your eyes are fine. You're good. And I was like, say what? I said, okay, let me just tell you, about a couple of years ago when I was living in New York, I went to go see a doctor. The doctor told me I had glaucoma. And he was like, what? No, you don't. There's no trace of glaucoma at all. Your eyes are fine. So you see, that's another situation. So every time you have situations like that, you said one eye doctor told me a lie, and one is a physical doctor told me a lie. So it's hard to trust these doctors if they're telling you something that you don't have. There's nothing wrong with you, but they're telling you that there's something is. And then once you start taking the medication, you become sick. And then now you really, if you don't have cancer and a doctor gives you medication for cancer, you will get cancer because you're fine. You could just have like a stomach, maybe something you ate made you sick and you think you're dying, and then they're going to make it seem like it's something else. Oh, you have cancer in your stomach. And then once you start taking the medications, start taking these medications, go to chemo, and that's what kills you. A lot of people are dead today because of that. So don't just keep running to the emergency room for any little thing. You know what I do to stay healthy? Drink plenty of water, take vitamins, eat healthy, exercise. You do these things, you will be healthy, you will not have issues. Okay? I'm not saying don't go to the emergency, don't get checkups. I do get my checkups once a year. You know, and if the doctor says anything that I feel that is not accurate, I don't listen to the doctor. I just do what I feel. Because you know your body better than anybody. You could tell when something's off. Like, oh my God, my heart is beating funny. You know, stuff like that you can't control. Or my stomach is hurting me, or whatever it is. But you got to analyze what it is that you're doing in your lifestyle that's making it happen. Okay? So some things is like, and then if it's like when it comes to cancer, sometimes it's hereditary. If it's in the bloodline and for your family, it passes over, that's different. Stuff that's hereditary is different because you can't control it. Just like if your mother dies of a certain thing, most likely you might have it too because that's your mother, that's in the bloodline. But there are cases where there's no such thing. Like in my family, there was no such thing of cancer. And my mother was the first. So I honestly feel that something went wrong with that. And I'm not going to get into any more details, but just like what I said, my mother was like, I don't even want to get into that because it gets me upset. But I feel that that's what happened to her. Okay, so with that being said, I just wanted to share that with you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be careful because at the end of the day, there's no need to keep running to the emergency room for any little thing because you will end up really being sick. Okay, so with that being said, guys, take care, God bless, and have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.